Guys, today we are going to see the different terminologies that are there in the AI, right? So a lot of new terminologies are coming every day in AI. And if you are a fresher or a QA or a student, then you should be knowing at least these terminologies so that when someone throws these terminologies at your face, you should not look as if you have no idea, you have no clue about this. Let's see the different terminologies. Number one is AI. AI is obviously the artificial intelligence. It means teaching the computers to do the task that normally needs human intelligence. So this is basically the concept of making machines so much powerful that they can actually get some intelligence, right? So, for example, whenever the computers are understanding your speech or answering your questions or recognizing the images or generating the images, making some suggestions, everything comes under the big umbrella, which is AI. Next is machine learning. Machine learning actually a part of AI. It's a process of teaching the computers using examples instead of writing every rule manually. So, for example, instead of telling computers that this email is spam because of these 20 rules, so we should show the machine thousands of spam emails and normal emails, and then let computer learn, let the machine learn the pattern by itself, just like students learn after solving many problems. So if AI is the concept of making the machines intelligent, machine learning is that process through which we make the machines intelligent enough so that they can decide the next pattern, right? Or they can start giving us suggestions. Then what is deep learning? Deep learning is basically a subset of machine learning only. uh, it's an advanced type of machine learning used for complex tasks. It is useful when data is huge and problems are difficult. For example, face unlock, or voice assistant, or self-driven cars, or chat AI systems, right? So this is, think of it as a stronger brain of a harder job. So once you train the machine, and what comes after the trained machine is actually known as the model. The trained AI brain is the model. So model is the final trained system created after learning from data. It is what gives answers after training. For example, when you ask ChatGPT a question, it is the model, the trained machine is actually giving us a reply, just like a student after completing the studies. Next is training data. Training data is the material used to teach the AI model, right? So AI models are actually trained on a lot of data. Just like if someone is reading encyclopedias, right, and you become smarter. Similar to that, the AI models are trained on a hell lot of data, and that data is known as the training data, just like books, notes, practice questions for students. If training data is poor or wrong, AI performance becomes poor too. So that's important, because what quality is going as an input in the model will be as intelligent as the training data. Okay. Inference means using the trained AI to give the answers in real language. So training equals to learning stage, and inference is the working stage. So you upload an image, for example, you upload an image and AI says this is a dog. That answer stage is inference. Okay. All right. Let's look at LLM. LLM means large language model. We know it. This is an AI trained on a huge amount of text so that it can understand and generate language. LLMs can only generate the text, or a language. It cannot generate a picture. It cannot generate video, image, music. No, that is why it can chat with you. It can write emails. It can explain the topics, write the code, summarize the notes, like a student who has read millions of books and is specialized in generating the text only stuffs, right? Prompt is simply what you ask the AI. So the way you query an AI is known as a prompt. For example, when you say ChatGPT, write and leave email, or write what explain cloud computing, or create a test cases, that input that you're giving to the AI is actually known as a prompt. Okay. Token is basically, so whenever, let's say if you have taken a paid subscription of ChatGPT, right? Or maybe a Claude, they always give the billing or subscription based upon token. Token is nothing but it's a way of doing the billing subscriptions. How these companies have decided the token is that 4 letters, 3 or 4 letters of every word is considered as a token, right? So let's say if you have written computer space science, then if you have written this in the prompt, then computer space science will be divided in a chunk of 444, right? And similarly, whatever the output the LM is giving, that is also being converted into a chunks of 444 letters each, and that's how the tokens are calculated. So token is nothing but a subset or a chunk of a tiny piece of the complete word that you're giving as an input to the AI or LLM, or what you're getting as an output. Context window is what? So whenever you chat with an LLM, whenever you send a prompt, then along with the your current input, certain data about, if you have, let's say, given certain instructions before your current instructions, that goes as a context. Context means setting up the stage for AI to understand your query better. So if, for example, if you have given a query to, or a prompt to the AI saying that, hey, my name is Ankit and I'm from India and all these things, I am male, generate a diet for me, and it has generated a diet. And then in your next prompt, you have mentioned that I'm a vegetarian, generate according to it. So now it will not only send that prompt to the model, it will also take some context from what you have discussed or what you have sent as an input in the previous chat. So that means some context is being sent to the LLM model. That is known as a context window. Okay. Prompt, we have understood what prompt is. Basically, whatever you are sending as a query or chatting with the LLM model, that is known as a prompt, and that study of sending a great prompt is known as prompt engineering. Okay. Hallucination means what? Hallucination means AI gives, whenever AI gives wrong answers or wrong information as if it is correct. For example, it may invent fake facts or wrong code, like a student answering confidently without even knowing. That, so always verify AI answers, because AI can hallucinate. Yes, AI can hallucinate. What's an AI agent? So AI is, for example, let's say LLM, which is a part of AI. They can give you the suggestions. For example, when you say, hey, write a query, a SQL query to get the 5 records from a table student. So LLM can give you or suggest you the queries, but it cannot execute it on its own. What if it wants to execute that query after connecting to a database? It needs someone who can take the action. That entity that takes the action is actually an agent. So how it works is, LLM is a suggester, is a entity that generates a suggestion. An agent is the one that takes the action. How it takes the action? It actually interacts with the external tools. For example, let's say SQL database, using some maybe MCP protocol, right? And then it, whatever suggestion that LLM is giving, agent actually interacts with the external tools with the help of MCP, and it performs the action as well, not just suggesting the answers or the replies. Okay, so agent is basically the entity that do the action. Orchestration and multi-agent, I mean, you just know that you should know these terms, that what orchestration and multi-agent means. That orchestration is simply about whenever you have multiple steps and you are just arranging them in some form, that is known as orchestration. So whenever AI systems are performing action like search or writing or reviewing or reporting, they just arrange it or just manage it in some way, and the process is known as orchestration. And multi-agent system means that when multiple AI agents are working together to perform some task, like a group or like a team, that process is known as a multi-agent system. Okay. RAG means, if I just give an example, let's say if AI needs to look into some document, right, and then gives you the answer. For example, let's say the normal LLMs are actually trained up to a certain time frame. For example, let's say ChatGPT, if it's trained up to the data till 2025, and if you ask anything which is related to 2026, then ChatGPT will not be able to give the answers. Contrary to that, the RAG is the process in which the LLM or the AI will give you the reply as the latest information it has. And how it gets the information, normally it looks at the documents or something and then gives you the answer, rather than saying that I don't have the information about it, or rather than giving a hallucination. We have read about that term, right? Embedding means that whenever AI is searching for something, right? For example, when you say that cat, right? AIs will not only look at the exact match, which is cat. Instead, it will try to look at the things which are very much similar to cat. For example, kitten are a closer match. Then this type of process of searching into the database with a similar meaning of what you have searched for is known as the embedding process. Okay. Now, vector database means what? So, database in which AIs are storing the data not exactly same, but as the similar meaning as well. That is known as a vector database. So it's a smarter storage for meanings, and AI can find related info fast by searching meaning, not exact words, right? Feedback loop, obviously, when you interact with the AI or LLM and you provide the feedback that, hey, this is not the answer I'm looking for, then AI learns with your behavior as well. That, okay, if this is being asked, then next time it will provide you with a better result. That is known as a feedback loop. Fine tuning means, fine tuning is simple, extra training for specialists. For example, if you are preparing your AI specifically for the bank, and you are focusing, training that model more on the banking side, that is known as fine tuning. Self-healing in the test means that whenever we are using automation and the test fails because of, let's say, the name of the button has changed, right? Then the test actually learns that, okay, previously the name was input, now the name of the button has changed to, let's say, input file. It, rather than failing the test, it self-heals itself, and then it ensures the test is not failing because of this reason. That is known as self-healing. That means updating itself, adjusting itself to fix the scripts. Flaky test detection, a test that passes sometimes and fails sometimes. So AI detects that unstable pattern, right? That sort of test which there is no change in the test, there is no change in the application, but sometimes the test is failing because of some synchronization issues, and sometimes it's passing. So that test is known as a flaky test. Okay, and then defect prediction. So AI can actually predict the defects, right? It can flag the risky areas. For example, if the payments have changed recently, AI can say, hey, there is some changes in the payment, and it predicts that, okay, there could be the defects on that area. Then synthetic data and guardrails. Synthetic data means the fake data, right? And guardrails means safety rules for the AI. So if you, let's say, if you have deployed a AI model, or if you're using an AI model, or if you have developed an agent that takes care that uses any model, we have to make sure that the model is not giving abusive words to or abusive outputs to the user, right? So it's kind of a safety rules for the governance, kind of security. So guardrails are safety rules placed on the AI, and it stops AI from doing harmful things. For example, no secret data should be leaked, no dangerous advice, no abusive replies, right? Like a school having the rules for discipline. That is known as the guardrails. So why QA should learn all this? I should say that at least the terminology that I have mentioned in the video, you should have the understanding about what these terminologies are all about. Obviously, you need to be a little more, you need to deep dive more on certain terminologies, but as a tester, at least you should be aware about all these terminologies, so that when someone throws some jargon at your face or some random AI terminology at your face, you should be able to give them at least one line of answer that, okay, I know about all these things and I can explain it to you with an example. Alright guys, that is all for this video. We'll come up with the new video with more on the AI, the QA, and test automation. Thank you so much.